Hello and welcome to another Bedroom Guru. I'm sorry that I haven't been on here for a while, but I don't just go on here for the sake of it. I only come on here when I'm inspired to actually talk about certain subjects. I'm not one of these people that wants fame and how many followers I get. I just want to help people, and I know that the right people that need help will find me on here and hopefully take on some of my advice. The reason that I'm going to talk about this next subject, it's not to be like depressing or anything, but the last couple of weeks, I get hundreds of messages, emails, Twitters, all sorts of things, and people that come into my life that just don't know how to cope. They don't know how to move forward. Lots of the people that want readings with me, I find the same. They're stuck. They don't know where to go next. They fear change. They're in perhaps a wrong relationship and they can't change it. They're in the wrong job and they don't know what to do about it. And what I've identified over all of the years I've done this professionally for, 27, 28 years, and throughout my whole life as, being psychic, is that the whole root of every single thing where things go wrong is our own self-love, our own self-belief. A belief that no matter what happens, whether it be a person that affects your life or a circumstance that affects your life, that you can get over it. Most people completely become overwhelmed or underwhelmed, whichever way you want to take it. And they create this really, really awful life for themselves. Without it all being about me, I want to talk about this because from my point of view, the old me, which I'll talk about in a minute, would have looked at this and gone, what do you know? What do you know about this? And I know I've covered a lot of this in my previous videos. But what I want to say to you is that it's not all, woe is me, aren't I brave, aren't I great for getting through. It's about me showing you ways forward and how you can get through out of your own personal traumas. Your traumas can be anything. They can be that you got bad neighbours. Your traumas could be you're a rape victim and you can't get over it. Your trauma could be that your nan's died. Any trauma, it doesn't matter what it is, if it hits you hard, then it's a trauma for you. Some people might say, yeah, but, I'm not that bad because they've had this happen to them. It's not about other people. It's about you. You are responsible for your own happiness. You're responsible for every thought, behaviour and action that you do every single second of the day. So how do you do that? How do you find that contentment? I can honestly say with hand on my heart, every single morning I wake up now and I feel happy. It's the first emotion that comes into me is that I'm grateful, I'm happy, and I feel content. I haven't had that for most of my life. I really haven't. And I just wanted to start talking about this because I've just been speaking to someone who's so lost, is in so much grief and so much turmoil, and I recognise the patterns that we do when we're in that grief and turmoil. As you most probably know from previous videos, my childhood was a very, very unstable one. I just want to give you an essence of what I've been through so that you can understand how I've overcome it and how I deal with it. But don't get me wrong, I speak to my friends on days where I have a meltdown. Oh yeah, recently I lost the house. They backed out 2 days before the exchange. And even though I knew it was right and thought it was right, the angel realms, or I think it was Julianus, my guide, said, you're not moving to August. So I thought, hang on a minute, this ain't right because I'm supposed to be in June, and it never happened. They're always right, always, always right. And so we are going to talk about higher power as well. But even though you have a higher power, and I have one of the most strongest connections to the spirit world, the angel realms, all of the esoteric planes that want to connect with me, I'm very lucky they can. But sometimes human life does overwhelm you. And do you remember when I've said about the lion and the mouse, the lion part, the ego part, the bit of the soul that's the base chakra up to the sacral, up to the heart chakra. Basically, it's all to deal with how you cope with life. It gives you your ego, it gives you your beliefs, it gives you your experiences, it gives you your behaviours, your reactions, where this part up is all to do with the divine. And that line does roar, so I can be depressed for a couple of days, turn the phone off, don't want to talk to anybody. I do that a lot, but I acknowledge it now, and I acknowledge the fact that I've done it. So what did I do yesterday? As I've told you before, I wrote in my soul diary. I wrote for about 10 pages, just getting everything out of my angst and have I bought the right house? Am I going to the right place? Because the spirit world found it for me. I would not have even looked at the house that I'm going to be moving to, but it is perfect in every single way. And even now I'm a bit, it's really different from what I wanted, but my ego wanted a certain thing. What I really need is what they've provided for. Even down to making my rear sensor bleep when the engine was turned off, just as we pulled up outside the house, which was a bit weird. So anyway, I'm digressing as usual. My life has been very, very difficult. I was sexually attacked when I was 7 years old, and so I felt dirty and I felt guilty, even though I shouldn't have, but it's natural for a victim to feel that. And I felt like perhaps my dad didn't think I was pure anymore, or you know, his little girl. And I saw the anger of when I actually disclosed to him what had happened in my dad's face. I'll never forget that. Strangely enough, there are a few memories I remember of my dad, because he died when I was 9 in a road accident. One of them is that, when I disclosed that day what happened to me as a 7-year-old child. And I also remember us sitting, waiting to go and see my sister who had just been born. And that was only a couple of months before he died. And so, yeah, there was a lot of trauma there. And with regards to what happened when I was 7, it's only recently, I suppose, well, say recently, about 10 years ago, that I acknowledged that I was a 7-year-old child. And when I look at a 7-year-old child now, I think, wow, someone did that to me. And I look at them and I realise the horror of what had actually happened, but I just blased it. I just put it as, oh, well, it happened. My mum then remarried someone who was, the only word I can describe as animal, I suppose, to me and her. Every single thing he could do to hurt us in every single way imaginable, without going into details, he did to me and her. So I went through immeasurable amounts of years, all my adolescence, subject to abuse. Again, this isn't a poor me story. I'm trying to show you that it's something that you've got to acknowledge and embrace as part of your soul experience here. So there are 2 ways you can deal with it, and I wished I'd taken the first option. The first option is to go and seek help, because you start finding yourself getting an anger within you. It grows like a cancer. You start finding yourself creating an armour around you. You start behaving erratically, and you start trying to run from the trauma that's sitting there growling at you within. So I could have gone forward and said that I need help, and I didn't. I decided to embrace this really strong armour, a really extrovert person, someone that had no self-love at all, had no self-worth. And I literally lived life by the seat of my pants, which was very easy, because obviously being in a police environment, you know, it was mainly male dominated. So I could be, you know, the girl making everybody laugh, people pleasing, very aggressive, drinking a lot. Obviously it was the culture. So it was lovely. It was a very good way for me to escape my demons. But you know what? There's only certain amounts of distance you can cover with that running before it gets really, really exhausting. I was in unhealthy relationships. I just basically, I feel like I was doing things to hurt myself because I felt I didn't deserve any better. And I'm sure if you're watching this, you can relate to this if you've been through trauma or you're still holding trauma. And so I just carried on blasting it through. A lot of people, funnily enough, now who I've reconnected with from the police service have said that they were really intimidated by me. And yeah, I am still quite loud. I am very confident now, but it's real this time. Um, but I think, wow, I intimidated people, and that was men and women. And I'm not that person anymore. I don't like to intimidate anybody. I like to help people, and I feel very calm and collected in here. But as I say, I'm only human. I have days where I can get angry. I have days when I can get depressed, as I've already said. So when I decided to take the therapy route, I always remember, and I've just said this to the person I was talking to, I thought, I'm too good for this. I don't need this. I'm sorted. There's nothing wrong with me. And there was a lot wrong with me. And after the third week of going into the therapy room, he just sat there and went, "You're right." I went, yeah, I've had a really good day, giving it all the biggin again that I used to. And he said, well, it's your choice. I'm going to cut out the bad language, because he did say a few F words, which I thought was amazing because it made me connect with him even more. He basically, and that's a point actually. If you go to counselling for anything, you have to like or connect with the person, like any relationship. If you feel like you're being, in a condescending environment, or you just don't connect with the person, forget it and find another counsellor, because you will not bring every single wart and all out. I'm telling you that now. You have to like who you're working with, okay? So don't be scared to change and find someone that you just think, I want to tell you everything. So he sat there and he went, I don't know why you're wasting your money. So what are you talking about? Bloody tractors. He didn't say that. And he said, you can sit here and waste your money if you want, love. He goes, but I've been listening to this bullshit for 3 weeks, and quite frankly, I want to know who you really are. Because if you don't want to sit down here and tell me who you really are, we're wasting each other's time here. So either get out or start talking to me. And I just burst into tears. And that was it. It was just this massive release. And I was with him for 2 years. 2 years I was with that beautiful man for, exercising every demon and trauma that I had with him. And it was the most freeing thing I'd ever done. When I left the police service, which was absolutely horrific, that's what led me to do the counselling, because of the situation that happened there. I obviously ended up being pushed into full-time mediumship. And so without realising it, I found myself being Nicky Alan, and being the person that everybody came to for advice, and someone that was admired for her psychic ability. And I didn't realise that I found myself going into a different armour. And that armour was this person that was portraying themselves in front of everybody. Don't get me wrong, I was totally sincere. But I fell in love with that person, even after all that therapy. I fell in love with a person that was portrayed to the public. I fell in love with the fact that people come to me for advice, and that I was strong for them, and I knew how to cope with anything from grieving, death, trauma. And I thought, I can do this. And I was actually not as aggressively as I was before in the police service, but I was finding myself camouflaging that and not looking after myself again. Again, I was in another unhealthy relationship, which was so wrong, it was ridiculous. And when I look back, I can't even imagine what made me do that. And it was because of me adopting this armour again that I then connected back into lacking self-love, and then just going for the first person who liked me. And it was horrific. I just can't even justify it with any other word. It was horrific. It was the biggest mistake in my life, one of them anyway. And so the road accident that took place that put me in bed for 3.5 years was the best thing that's ever happened to me. It was my saving grace. And as I've told you before, I went through the biggest darkness of my life. I was stripped bare of everything. As you know, as I've said before, I lost everything. Everything I'd worked for, I'd lost. Homeless, 2 dustbin bags, sofa surfing on my friend's settees with 2 dogs, thinking, what the hell am I going to do? So I decided to close down. And I've told you this before again, but it's relevant for what I'm talking about now. And I hate the spirit world. I wouldn't connect with them. If anything came in the room, I wouldn't even listen to them. I'd do nothing. Didn't want to know. I just wanted to die, basically. I'd had enough. This earth experience was just taking the piss, excuse my French. And that's what I thought every single day. I woke up either in hate, anger, self-pity, self-loathing. I couldn't stand anything about me. Hated myself, and the only thing that kept me going was the fact that I had 2 adoring little rescue dogs looking up at me, and I was their mummy, and that's the thing that kept me going. As you might have seen my blogs that I started, but I ended up stopping them because I'm actually going to put it in a book, because I think it'll really help people on how to get through the other side when you're in that darkness. And I was amazed at the pain I was going through when I read them, but I also was amazed at when they decided that enough was enough and they started bringing miracles into my life that you won't even believe when you read them. It's just beyond belief, the things they were showing and doing, the synchronicities, the coincidences, the way that my spirit nan come in and told me to get a certain drug that got me out of bed, everything. And now I'm sitting in a beautiful home waiting to go to a home that I'm so excited about, that's across the road from a beach, which I've always wanted. And the fact is that during that time where they took me through boot camp, where I was dreaming of like my mum's thing that she married, and I was reliving all of the trauma and all of the assaults and the abuse that took place, and I thought, what the hell's all this about? Then I was dreaming about all my exes. Then I was dreaming about all the unhealthy relationships. I'm thinking, what's all that about? Basically, they were taking me through a spiritual boot camp. They were honouring my feelings and emotions that I discussed with this therapist before, and they were basically saying, right, this is now gone. We're getting rid of this for you now. And then the next thing would come up. Then the next thing would come up. And it was like a horror. I was being taken through this like horrific boot camp for the greater good. Which leads me to being here now, feeling content, happy and whole. And every single situation that takes place, whether it's a person that's approaching in my life, or a situation that's untenable or I can't change it, I basically sit, look and deal rather than run for my life, which I normally did. And I remember saying to someone recently, all you're doing is running and finding the next high, whether it be a relationship, could be an affair, or you're waiting for your next drink, or you're waiting for your next buzz to make you feel better, because it's just not here inside, so you go elsewhere to try and find it. That has to stop. And that's what they taught me. That's what they taught me, those beautiful people up there. And I taught myself about it as well. It takes a lot of self-discipline, but now, luckily, I've done it so much, it's automatic. So yesterday I was like, oh my goodness, I'm starting to feel a bit wobbly about, is this the best decision where I'm moving? I'm on my own again, blah, 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 blah. And I just pulled 3 cards, did the soul journal, and I just started doing all the practical exercises. I did a meditation, and it was just all natural. It didn't feel like I had to do it. And that's what I want to help you get to. One of the things that I want to say to you is that having a higher power, a belief in a higher power, is an absolute must with this. Because sometimes we find that on the earth plane, there's only so much support therapists can give us, friends can give us, family can give us, and what we can give ourselves. And just to enter into the miracles of what they can do, and you have to work it for it to work, and you see it happening, you think, oh my God, this is so unbelievable. And they just keep coming, these hits keep coming of just unimaginable miracles where they do things you think, nobody's going to believe me when I say this. I can't believe that's just happened. Or they bring people into your lives when you just ask for it. I really need this. What am I going to do? Bing, oh, hello, I'm here. I can do that for you. Like, oh, my goodness. And so, they plot and they manipulate and they move things to try and bring it to you with ease. But the one thing that they can't do is allow you to believe you deserve it. So to believe you deserve it takes a therapy. That's why I did the Prism Living course, to show you how to get to a stage where you openly believe you deserve what's coming, that you embrace the fact that if the universe provides, what are they providing? It's what you're asking for. If you're asking for, I hate him, sort that out, I can't do this, I can't do that, that's all you're giving out. It's about positivity. And so they go, okay then, yeah, you deserve that, you believe you deserve it, so we'll give it to you. I hope this is making sense. Changing what you believe about yourself is absolutely massive. And as I say, nearly every single reading I've ever done, and there's been thousands upon thousands of readings I've ever done, including all my demonstrations, most people, it's all about their self-belief and self-love. I'm telling you, it's one of the highest problems we have about ourselves and how we live our lives here for this life incarnation. So all I want to ask you to do is just do one little thing for me. If you are in trauma or you're not happy with any situation going on in your life and you're too fearful to move forward and make change, Just do this. It doesn't matter if you believe in them or not. Look up and think, who do you believe in? Could it be angels? Could it be God, Jesus, whoever it is, Allah, your nan, your dad, anybody? Start connecting with them and asking them, help me. I need help now. Show me the right people. Don't ask them, I want to be here, I want to do that, I want to be doing this. Ask them to bring the circumstances and the people to you that will help you get there. That's what you want to be asking for. There's so many other videos here that I've put about grieving and things like that, so you can get tips about that. So I'm not going to go into all of that now. But there's another thing I want you to do, whether you believe it or not. I would really, really ask you, because the vow is thinner now. The transitional time of everybody's phase changing from 12-12-12 to 2018 is more or less final. Most people now will find that all of your trauma or upsets or all the changes in your lives during this last 6-year period are coming to a close, because we start the 7th year next year. So all of you will be starting to softly land now, know where you're going. I'm just softly landing. I know where I'm going in August now, with a completely different attitude of confidence, of self-love. As I said, with a wobble, but I'm about 90% there, so I think that's pretty good when it was only 10% before. Archangel Michael is one of the most strongest protective energies that reside in the angel realms. Archangel Michael works on this brilliant blue ray, and he is a protector. He is someone that helps you get rid of all of the fear, all of the emotions that connect you to previous trauma or to previous incidents, previous people, and he allows you to move forward. He's like the warrior you need standing by you, hence why he's always depicted as being the person that's either got the devil under his foot or with this sword. He brings courage and strength for you to move forward. Just do it. Is it going to hurt for you to write down or verbally ask, Archangel Michael, I need you here now. I need you to bring me courage and strength. I need you to take me forward to the next phase of my life. I need you to give me strength to make change. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be posh. You don't have to do a proper prayer. Just do it, and you watch the results, because I'm telling you, they will come. It'll either be like a feather dropping, or you'll see some reference to angels or to the name Michael. Always the way. Always the way. So Michael is someone that's going to help you move forward. He's going to protect you from anybody that's creating trauma around you. He's going to help you move away from that situation, as long as you believe you deserve to move away from that situation. The second one that I want you to speak with, if you're ready, is Archangel Chamuel. Archangel Chamuel, I see her as a feminine energy. Some of you may see her as a male. They come to you with different images. The reason they do this, just say if you are possibly subject to abuse by a male, you know, and then you've suddenly got this male energy coming into your mind, or you get visions of it, you're not going to like that, are you? Because at the moment you hate men, you don't want to be near them. Vice versa for women. So they choose what type of energy to bring in, the gentle, understanding feminine energy, or the strength of the man that needs to grab hold of you and take you forward. So don't analyse too much how you see or how you feel the elements of when they come in. And believe me, you'll feel it. People will think you're making it up. You might think yourself mad. You might even self-doubt it. But they'll be there. They will be there. I'm telling you, because I had absolutely no faith whatsoever, despite my past, despite me coming from generations of mediums, psychics and healers. Didn't want to know. But now I do. And they basically hold me in my life. They warn me of dangers, even if I carry on going ahead and doing them, and they go, oh God, we're going to have to sort this out. And I go, I know. But they make me aware of every single move I make, of every behaviour I display, every words that I speak. And they've given me the inspiration to talk about this today. So there's a reason for it. Someone will watch this and it will really help them. Chamuel works on a beautiful bright pink ray. And she basically is the epitome. She is the #1 self-love angel. She brings you self-love, positivity. She will help you perhaps be inspired to go and get counselling, or to get help to deal with whatever your problem is. She basically surrounds you with positivity and allows you to feel at one with yourself. She will encourage you to do things for yourself. As I said, I've given you the tips of how to do that, where you can basically do all of the different things that will help you to go towards self-love, which I've already done in previous videos, and also I've written them exceptionally detailed in my book, Heaven Calling. However, I really need to get a grip of that. But as I said before, I'm doing this earthbound stuff at the moment in moving, and then I'll push every button I can to get that book out by the end of the year. That's my goal, so that you can read it and go back to it and get help from it. That's my absolute dream and goal at the moment. And last night when I pulled an angel card, they basically said, do not forget your dreams and goals. Don't allow yourself to get too involved with the human aspects of what's going on in life. I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly what's happening. I couldn't believe it. And they're like, you know, keep focused. You need to do this because it is what I'm here for, to help you, to bring you knowledge, spiritual knowledge, to carry on the legacy of all the other ambassadors on the planet that are telling you that they are there and that you can't forget that where you came from is still there, and they're still there to help you if you want it. You just got to ask. You just got to ask. So Chamuel is someone that I love to invoke. Again, I just say, Chamuel, I'm really sorry, but can you come back again, because I think I'm losing that self-worth thing again. And you just do it that way. Talk to them like they're your friends. Don't make it anything weird. Just speak to them and watch the results. I challenge you to it. If nothing happens, it's because you're not allowing it to happen. If you want to sit in anger, misery, depression, that's absolutely fine. You do that. And if you remember, I said to you about Juliana's saying about you can choose to walk, whether in the desert or in the oasis. So if you want to walk through a dry desert in self-pity because of how bad everything is, thirsty and hungry, in heat and complete discomfort, that's your choice. If you want to sit in an oasis, eating succulent fruit, getting meals provided to you, waiters wandering around bringing you cocktails and just dipping into the pool under this beautiful green canopy, do it. The choice is yours. Choose what you want. Yeah, but I can't, I'm depressed, I can't do it because of him, I can't do it because of that. Look at what you're doing. You're blaming all of your circumstances and people around you. You can change. You can decide how you want to feel. You can decide whether to walk through the door of a counsellor's office. You can decide if you want to walk to a spiritualist church. You can decide if you can take yourself off for a walk or take yourself off for a drink. It's your decision. Make the decisions that will change your life with the help of them, or Jesus, or God. As I said, any deity that you want to connect to, whether it's goddesses, fairies, angels, do it. Give it a go. Can it really hurt? Because they can and will help you if you feel you deserve it and you want to go with it. You've got to embrace a bit of it. You know, it's not all about, well, I've asked you, why aren't you doing it for me? Because that's the wrong energy to start with. You need to forgive yourself. You need to love yourself. You need to look at why you're doing things that are hurting you so much, and then realise that you are doing it and stopping it. Right, how do I stop it then? Then you go online. How do I stop this? Find meditation CDs or channels on YouTube. Find your local therapist. Find your local healer. Start doing things for yourself, and you'll start building up a natural want to do things for yourself every day. And that feeds that beautiful self-love little monster in there that gets bigger and bigger and bigger until you get to a stage where anything happens in your life. Yeah, you could have a wobble for a couple of days like I do, and then you go, do you know what? I can deal with this. It's okay. Rather than quilting it, going for a drink, starting rows with loved ones, erratic behaviour, pushing yourself into work, pushing yourself into things that are exhausting you so you don't get distracted. Does that ring a bell for you? Because that's what we do. We completely run from what we don't want to face. But do you know what? All of that running is so exhausting, more exhausting than you actually sitting down and going, right, I need help here. How am I going to get it? Do it for yourself, for your family, for everybody around you, because all you do is hurt yourself and the people around you. You test their boundaries, see how far you can push them to make sure they're there for you. Oh, it was terrible for me. I've got massive abandonment issues, massive issues about being secure and stable and having a roof over my head because of what's happened to me. And then I just go, whoa, stop that thought. Hang on a minute, naughty miss. You're going back to what you used to be doing. Stop that now. Look at what you got. Look at where you're going. You're lucky. You're loved. You love yourself. Let's do this thing. And that's how it works. It sounds really simple. It is. You just got to decide whether you feel you deserve it or not. Who else do I think perhaps you should ask help for? Who do I think? Yeah, okay. I've just had someone talk to me. I assume it's the angel realms. I asked about Raphael, and they said no, because again, Raphael is a healing energy. He brings complete healing on this beautiful green ray. However, you're taking it from yourself then, because you're asking for him to heal you, and then you carry on what you're doing, and hopefully he'll heal you. You've got to actually work on yourself first. So they're telling me that isn't right for what this genre of video is about today. So it's my favourite again, Azrael. Azrael, I see him as a man. Could come as a female for you, whatever. Lots of people see Azrael as a female, definitely. But at the moment I see him as a male energy. And again, I think it's because I need strength, because I've got a lot of changes coming up. And so Azrael basically helps you to review your life, look at what went wrong, look at what you need to get rid of, and he helps you move forward. Again, he's another angel that will help you feel inclined to get help through counselling or therapy, or healing. He's someone that obviously, as you've most probably heard before, presides over souls about to pass the spirit world, and the family that are there during the passing, helps them to review their life and move up to obviously up to the heavenly realms. And up to Jeremiah, obviously, who then takes your soul and does a proper life review. But Azrael is there for change. Azrael is there to end eras and begin new ones. And so I would ask him if that helps you as well in your situation, for him to come forward as well. So they're the three angels for the day that I want you to concentrate on. All you have to do is basically Google them, if you've forgotten everything I've said, or start having a look at angels. You know, it's very easy to just say Archangel 4, whatever problem you've got, and then it will come up the angel that will help you with that. So today is about self-reflection. Today is about how your life is going. Have a look at your true self and how you're feeling. Have a look at your life and if you're happy with it. And if you're not, find ways to make change. If you need any help, please get in touch with me via email on here, via Twitter, Facebook, whatever you want to do, because I am here to help you, because I don't want anybody to stay in that darkness I was in for that amount of time. Because you can come out the other side, because I'm the other side of it. So please get in touch. And again, as I always say, if there's anybody that you're thinking of that might benefit from this video, please send it to them. As I say, you know, they say on YouTube, oh, you have to keep doing them every couple of days to keep people interested. No, I do these when I feel inspired to say a subject or deal with a subject with passion, and this is what I'm really passionate about at the moment. I always thought I was here just to bring messages from the dead and messages from the angels, but I'm not. I'm here also, one of my biggest parts of my service at the moment to the spirit world, the angel realms, is to help you get through life's obstacles with the help of them, and with practical help that I've given, as I say, in the Prism Living online course and through these videos. So I hope you found benefit in this. Perhaps I've rambled and you haven't got any of it, but I just feel I needed to talk about this today. So I hope you've enjoyed it. The sun shines out there. Get out there and get some vitamin D. Get down the beach, get by the sea, go out walking, have fun, love yourself and look after yourself. I really hope this benefits you, and I look forward to speaking to you again. Who knows what I'll be talking about. Take care now.